I never thought I would find myself in this situation, a waking nightmare that defied all reason and logic. It began innocently enough when I stumbled upon a strange and obscure medical facility during one of my aimless late-night internet browsing sessions. The website was cryptic, its design reminiscent of an early 2000s GeoCities site, and its name was equally bizarre: Dr. Maldred's Mind Spa. The website promised a revolutionary form of therapy, one that could cleanse the mind of all negativity, trauma, and stress. Intrigued and desperate for a way to free myself from the overwhelming weight of my anxieties, I filled out the online form, requesting an appointment. To my surprise, I received a response within hours. Dr. Maldred himself had personally replied, offering me an appointment for the following week. The email was brief and contained only the address of his facility, which was located in a remote wooded area far from civilization. Curiosity, tinged with apprehension, compelled me to accept the invitation. I arrived at the address on a gloomy, overcast day, greeted by the sight of a crumbling mansion that seemed straight out of a horror movie. The place was dilapidated, with overgrown ivy clinging to the decaying walls. It looked nothing like the serene, spa-like setting I had envisioned. I hesitated for a moment, but the promise of relief from my mental torment pushed me forward. I entered the mansion, greeted by a dimly lit reception area that felt trapped in time. The air was heavy with an unsettling stillness, and an eerie silence hung in the air. A receptionist, her features obscured by the shadows, checked me in with a disconcerting smile. She handed me a nondescript waiver to sign, releasing Dr. Maldred and his facility from any liability. My unease grew, but I signed it without reading the fine print. I was desperate for a solution. Soon, a tall, lanky man with thinning hair and unsettlingly piercing blue eyes appeared. He introduced himself as Dr. Maldred, his voice smooth and reassuring. He assured me that his revolutionary therapy would free me from my mental burdens, like a deep cleanse for the mind. I followed him through a labyrinthine maze of hallways, the walls adorned with unsettling, abstract paintings and eerie, distorted mirrors. We arrived at a small, sterile room that contained only a single reclining chair surrounded by strange, mechanical contraptions. Dr. Maldred instructed me to sit in the chair and relax. He explained that the procedure would involve a new technology he had developed, a way to literally cleanse and rewire the brain to eliminate negative thoughts and emotions. It sounded like science fiction, but my desperation left me with little choice. As he attached wires to my head and prepared the machinery, I couldn't help but feel a growing sense of unease. The room seemed to close in around me, and I began to question the sanity of my decision. But it was too late to turn back. The procedure began, and I felt a sharp, searing pain in my head, as if my skull was being split open. My vision blurred, and I could hear Dr. Maldred's voice, distorted and distant, as if it was coming from another world. The sterile scent of antiseptic hung heavy in the air as I reclined in the chair. My pulse quickened. A drumbeat of anxiety reverberated in my veins. Dr. Maldred assured me this was just a routine session, a way to delve into the depths of my subconscious and untangle the knots that bound my mind. Little did I know that this session would shatter the very essence of my being. The room blurred as the procedure commenced, and I felt an excruciating jolt, as if my brain was being wrenched from my skull. My body convulsed involuntarily. Suddenly, I was no longer myself. Memories, not mine, flooded my consciousness. Fragments of a past that wasn't mine, fears that weren't my own, and deepest insecurities that belonged to a stranger. It was as if someone had hijacked my very essence, leaving me adrift in an alien sea of thoughts and emotions. The room around me faded, replaced by a montage of unfamiliar faces and places. I was drowning in a deluge of foreign experiences, unable to discern where my consciousness ended and someone else's began. Panic gripped me, squeezing my chest in a vice-like grip. I screamed, hoping to drown out the pain and the invading memories, but they persisted. In the midst of the chaos, I heard a voice, distant and distorted. "Relax," it said, though the word felt like a mockery of the torment I was enduring. Dr. Maldred's face loomed over me, his features contorted with a mixture of anticipation and trepidation. The realization hit me like a thunderbolt. He had not only swapped my brain, but had also subjected me to a torrent of another person's consciousness. In moments of fleeting clarity, I contemplated the unimaginable, that I was no longer the person I used to be. The core of my being had been usurped, overwritten by a stranger's thoughts and memories. I was an amalgamation of two souls, a Frankenstein's monster of consciousness, pieced together from mismatched parts. I confronted Dr. Maldred. Anger burned within me, a flicker of defiance against the cruelty he had subjected me to. "What have you done to me?" I demanded, my voice raw with emotion. "I never signed up for this. I never agreed to become someone else." Dr. Maldred met my gaze, his eyes devoid of remorse. "You wanted to change, to escape the shackles of your past. This was the only way." His words offered no solace, only a bitter reminder of the irreversible transformation I had undergone. "Change me back," I roared, my voice raw with anguish. "I want my own mind back. I want my life back." Dr. Maldred's expression cold and unyielding. "It's too late," he said, his tone devoid of sympathy. "The procedure is irreversible. You are now a new entity, a fusion of two minds." I shook my head, tears streaming down my face. "I don't care. I don't want this existence. I want to be me again." But my pleas fell on deaf ears. Dr. Maldred turned away, leaving me alone in the suffocating darkness. Prepare to be haunted. Are you ready to dive into the shadows, where the eerie whispers of the night come to life? Brace yourselves, because this Halloween season, we are bringing you a spine-chilling experience like never before. Our Halloween Spooky Season special is coming soon.
If you like the content on our channel, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can be notified when we upload more stories like this one.